on to video number 2 now, where I'm going to be reviewing Pancake: A Global History. Now, this book here is part of the Edible series of books, and I've been collecting them. In actual fact, I went on a little bit of a mad collecting spree during the first lockdown when I started collecting these books. I haven't collected literally all of them because there's a huge number, and I've kind of reached the end point now. I don't want to collect anymore. They cover a whole range of different foodstuffs. You've got one on there's one on spices, there's pie, cake, caviar, chocolate, cocktails, curry, fish and chips, hot dog, lobster, tea, tomato, sandwiches. I'm reading one on sandwiches at the moment. You name it. They cover so many different foods. And they're written by different people, so some are better than others. This one on the pancakes by I can probably not pronounce his name correctly, Ken Albala, was one of the better ones. I enjoyed reading this one, and the one on sandwiches that I'm reading at the moment is pretty good. I've also read one on berries, one on cabbages, one on soup, and one on eggs. I think the one on pancakes, the one on sandwiches are the two best I've read so far. The one on berries was okay. The one on cabbages was a bit. The one on soups was alright. The one on eggs was crap. Really basic. I'm like, why did I get this? But they do vary. That's the thing. They do vary. Some are really good, and others are like, why did I get this? But this one was one of the better ones. This one was good, and I'm glad I got this. And it was an enjoyable read. And even the one on eggs, though, does have some good pictures in it. So and it did have some interesting nuggets, it wasn't as good as the others. So I'm going to review this book now, and it's part of the Edible series, and I do love the picture on the front. Each one's got a lovely little detail on the front, which I just love. It's just a lovely little picture. Okay, so as it's been Pancake Week and Pancake Day this week, so pancakes, and do let me know if you've made any pancakes as well. I'd be interested to know. One key point that I thought was a good point made in the book is that for a light texture, it's important to avoid using too many eggs. So obviously, if you want a heavy kind of, bready pancake, one that's heavy and full, you might use a lot of eggs. But if you want one that's very light, like more crepe-like, it's important not to use too many eggs. Ken recommends 1 egg to 250 grams of flour and 235 mils of milk and a teaspoon of baking soda. And he says that would make a standard American pancake. If you want to make an American pancake, obviously that would make quite a lot of batter, so you might want to cut that down. For thinner pancakes, use more milk. Obviously. You could add buttermilk or yogurt, could be added to the mix. That provides some acidity, and that helps the baking powder work. If you only need 1 big pancake, he says you could just use egg white at 125 grams of flour with enough milk to make a thick batter. That would be a massive pancake. For one person, I would say that would be pretty excessive. Usually when I'm making pancakes, and I'm making a single serve and I'm having it for breakfast when I need something quite filling and I'm hungry, I'll use about 50 grams of flour. But if I'm having them for dessert, like dessert pancakes I've already eaten, then I'll be using more like half an ounce of flour, certainly no more than 25 grams if I've already eaten. Because otherwise, it'd be a bit, ooh. I often make my pancakes with wholemeal flour as well to be a bit healthier. Ken says it's preferable to pour the batter first, again drop berries or chocolate chips etc. on top, as opposed to mixing the berries and the chocolate chips into the batter. That's a good tip, because that way you avoid the berries from kind of leaking into the mixture, and they stay more kind of whole that way. So pour the batter in first and then drop the berries or chocolate chips on top into the pan. Then gently submerge the chocolate chips or blueberries into the molten batter with the tip of a knife so that they're completely covered, because otherwise if you were to mix, say, the blueberries into the batter before putting it into the pan, you risk a blueberry explosion, and then that could stain a pancake. I mean, you don't know, you might like that, but if you want them to remain whole without staining a pancake, I thought that was quite a good tip, to only add them once you've added the batter to the pan. Again, gently submerge them into the batter. Ken likes to have his butter slabbed on top of the stack. There are some interesting novelty pancakes referred to in this book. For example, an American pancake in 1840 called a sweetmeat pancake that had beetroot juice added to the batter. Beetroot juice was added to the batter, so essentially a beetroot pancake. And then the pancakes were spread with jam or marmalade, which actually does sound quite interesting. I'd like to try that. And then they were rolled up. You lay them side by side on a dish and sugar them, and then you eat with sweetened cream. You could add nutmeg and lemon peel to the basic pancake mixture. A French festival, because in the UK and I think in America there's Pancake Day, but in France there's something called Candlemas, and that's held on the 2nd of February in France, and that's to commemorate the day that Jesus was presented in the temple by Mary and Joseph. And on that day they eat crepes. They eat a lot of crepes and candles lighted, but it's the 2nd February in France. They have it's called Candlemas. But it was originally a pagan festival because it's like kind of, a sort of welcoming in the start of spring with the sun, your pancakes representing the sun. Interestingly, in America, that's the USA, the word flapjack is actually used interchangeably. The word pancake is interchangeably used with the word flapjack because flap literally means to turn over. The jack bit might just refer to the way jack is often used in a diminutive to refer to something that's small. But as the word jack is often used, say in mechanics to refer to, like, say, a small object, but it could potentially refer to the lumberjack who might eat it, as Jack was originally just an ordinary sort of working class bloke. So anything with Jack at the end, it refers to something that's sort of diminutive, but originally it referred to a sort of ordinary working class bloke. But in the UK, flapjacks are quite different. When we talk about flapjack, we're talking about an oat bar, or I think in the USA they're called granola bars or a cereal bar, which is like oats and syrup and butter kind of all mixed together and then baked in the oven and kind of marked out into slabs or bars. That's what we refer to as flapjack in the UK. But apparently, before the 1930s, flapjack was also used to refer to pancake in the UK, and it was only after the 1930s that flapjack came what it is now known as essentially an oat bar. But in America, the USA, flapjack is still used interchangeably with pancake, which is why there can be a little bit of lost in translation confusion, because when, about the two terms. Another interesting pancake is the Breton galette, which I eat in Brittany in France, and that's like a sort of working class staple originally. A staple of the impoverished farmer of northwestern France, and it's usually is made from buckwheat flour, and it's cooked only on one side, and it's filled with savoury ingredients, and it's folded into a square rather than rolled. Traditionally, it's dipped into buttermilk, and they're made paper thin. Another pancake comes from Russia, and it's called a blini. I think that's how you pronounce it, blini or blini. That's eaten during Shrovetide and Maslenitsa, which is the Russian butter week, where they eat a lot of pancakes. You need a set of little pans specially designed for them to make them properly, and they're often served with clarified butter and caviar. Another pancake is the palacinta, which is Hungarian, but they're also eaten in Austria as well. And that derives from the Latin placenta, which means cake. So that's interesting. The anatomical placenta, it originally meant cake because it's sort of like round, it's cake shaped, That's an interesting fact, I thought. They can be stuffed with ham, rolled and baked with paprika spice sour cream sauce, or you could make a towering stack of palacinta served with nuts and chocolate sauce. In the US South, a special pancake is made out of sweet potatoes, and it's made from cooked and mashed sweet potatoes mixed with flour, eggs, and milk, and then it's fried, and it's often topped with maple syrup and pecans. Okay, so I thought that there were some sort of interesting facts and interesting ideas gleaned from this pancake book here. So I hope you enjoyed hearing some of these interesting pancake ideas. Next week I'll try and review the book on Sloth. So if I forget, do remind me. As I say, at the moment my video is a little bit all over the place, so I can't guarantee what day I'm going to film them on because lots of things going on. So it's a little bit different at the moment, only because my life at the moment is a little bit upside down with everything that's going on. So I can't always guarantee I'm going to be filming on an exact day, but I'll try and film every week. If I miss a week, please don't worry. I am still doing them. It's just I can't guarantee you're going to be quite as regular as normal, just because where everything is right now. But I hope you've enjoyed listening, and do leave comments below. And I look forward to speaking to you again very soon. So thank you for watching.